Hello friends, here in this video we are going to see a problem on orthographic projections. Here is the question. The figure shows pictorial view of an object. An object is given to us. Draw the following views using first angle method of projection. Front view from x direction, that is we have to look in this direction x and draw the front view, top view and right hand side view. Now, as we read the question, it was mentioned that we have to draw it by using first angle method of projection. If we have to draw by first angle method of projection, then front view will be in VP, that is the vertical plane, top view will be in HP, horizontal plane, and then we have to draw right hand side view, that is if we are looking into arrow X, that gives us the front view. And now when we are looking the object from right hand side, this direction will be the right hand side view, and that right hand side view by first angle method of projection will be drawn on left hand side. So now before we start with this question, see, whenever we have questions related to orthographic projections, in that case we need to know how much is the total length of the object, total height and total width of the object. Then only we can start with the problem. So first I'll calculate how much is the total length, height and width, and then I'll write it down. So at first, if we check here, the length is given from this center up to the center here, that is 90, and then this outer circle is having a diameter of 60, so its radius is from this point up till here, that is 30. So 90 plus 30, it means the total length is 120. I'll write it down. Length is equal to 120, it is mm. Then the total height is, here we have a block of 10 mm, over that there is a cylinder of 50 mm height, so 50 plus 10, that gives us 60, which is the total height. So h is equal to 60. So here I have written total length and height. Next, total width. Now if we see here, width is in this direction. Here we would be getting the width as this is 20. Then the radius of this outer semicircle is 15, so diameter will be 30. But we want maximum width, that is the total width. So the maximum width is nothing but the diameter of this outer cylinder or this outer circle. So that is 60 as given in the question. So here the total width will be 60 mm. So once we have noted down the total length, height and width, we can start with the problem. So here we have XY line. This is VP and here we have HP, vertical plane and horizontal plane. Now in the question it is mentioned we have to draw front view, top view and right hand side view by first angle method of projection. So when we are drawing by first angle, front view will be in VP, top view will be in HP, and since it is first angle we will be drawing the right hand side view onto the left hand side. So it means whenever we have to draw it by first angle, then for side view we have to look in one direction and draw it in the other side or other direction. That is, right hand side view will be drawn on left hand side, whereas left hand side view will be drawn on right hand side. Now whenever we are starting the drawing, we need to first start with the front view. So in case of front view, when we are looking in the direction of arrow X, out of length, height and width, only two dimensions will be visible. That is, when we are looking along X, the length will be visible and the height will be visible. Width won't be visible along X direction. So we have to plot the front view in such a way that length and height is there. It means I'll start with the rectangle first, that is drawing a rectangle here. That will give me the total length and height. Total length is 120 and total height is 60. So first I'll draw the rectangle for that of 120 by 60. I'm marking 120 over it. The length is 120, height is 60 mm. Drawing a light vertical line. Then since the height is 60, I am marking over this vertical line. Drawing parallel horizontal line. So here we have a box or a rectangle of length 120 and height 60. Within this we have to draw the front view. Now when we are drawing the front view, we have to look along arrow X, and as an observer, when we are standing here, we have to see that which part is close to us, that we will draw first. So when I am looking into the direction of arrow X, I can see this block of 10 mm height. So first I'll draw this block taking height is equal to 10 mm. Drawing it with the help of a light horizontal line. Then after looking at this block, here we have a semicircular portion. Now looking into arrow X direction, this part of the semicircle is visible. So it is a rectangle. When we are looking along X, this semicircular part will look like a rectangle, and its length will be equal to the radius of the semicircle, which is 15, and height is 25. So the next step will be, here the total height, it is 25. So I'll measure 25 mm. Then draw a light horizontal line. And over this I'll mark the length. Radius is given as 15, that will be the length of the semicircular part. So I'm marking 15 mm over it. This is 10 mm and here we have 15. Next, drawing a light vertical line through that point. And then if we look into the diagram, Here this portion, this 10 mm height block and this semicircular part, they are not on the same plane. That is, this block is ahead whereas the semicircular part is behind. So it means in between them there should be a dark line. This is the principle of orthographic projection, that whenever we have two surfaces which are not onto the same plane, then in order to differentiate them there should be a dark line in between them. So here between the block of 10 mm height and the semicircular part there will be a dark line. Next, again when we are looking along x direction, here this is a complete cylinder having diameter 60 mm and its height is 50 mm over the 10 mm block, whereas from the bottom the total height of the cylinder is 60 mm. Next, looking along x direction, this cylinder will also be seen as a rectangle having length is equal to 60 mm and its height is 50 mm over the 10 mm block. So I'll measure 60 mm. Here this 60 mm height indicates the cylinder and it is kept on a block of 10 mm height. So drawing a vertical line through this point, so this is the cylinder looking like a rectangle from the front view. Next, after getting this, here we have another part that is looking along x direction. This portion will be visible, which is called as the rib. So this rib will also be seen along x direction. It is extending from the cylinder up to this semicircle, and when we are looking from front we can draw it directly joining the centers. That is, it will be connected in this way. The top of the cylinder will be connected to the top of the semicircular part. So this is the visible front view which we are getting. So after completing up till here, next I'll locate the center, that is draw the center line for the cylinder. It is 60 mm in diameter, so I'll take half of that as the center, 30 mm from one side. Then I'll draw the center line through it. Next, after that, since this plate which is of 10 mm height is being extended, I'll say it is extended just here. We have the center, so just below the center, and that can be shown with the help of a light curve which I am drawing it freehand. So this will be the plate. Then after completing it up till here, this is the visible portion which we are seeing along x direction. So I have to make it dark. So this much is the visible portion in the front view, and here if we see, there is dark line, that is this line between the block and the semicircular portion, which indicates the change of plane between them. Next, inside this cylinder we have another circle, that is, it is a hollow cylinder of having diameter 40. So when we are looking along x direction, this cylinder which is inside is not visible, so it should be hidden, and it is through, that is throughout this height of the bigger circle or with the bigger cylinder. So the next thing will be to draw that hidden portion, and that inside cylinder will also appear as a rectangle in the front view. The diameter is 40, so from the center I'll measure 20 mm on one side, 20 mm on the other side, and first I'll draw a light vertical line through these points. Then I'll draw the hidden line, which are dotted lines, equally spaced. Next, inside this semicircular portion also there is another semicircle. Here the diameter of this inner semicircle is given, that is 20, so its radius will be 10. From this location up till here the radius is 10, so that will also be hidden, it is not visible along x direction. So inside this semicircular part I'll measure 10 mm, and then draw a light line through it, light vertical line. And now since it is hidden, so I'll draw a dotted line. So here, after reaching up till this stage, next I'll make this center line also dark, and it should be medium dark compared to the outline. So here we complete the front view of the object looking along x direction. Then after completing the front view we have to draw the top view, and in case of top view the height won't be visible. That is, if we are looking at an object from top, then the height of the object will not be visible, only length and width will be visible. So for top view the length we can get it from the front view, so I'll project this length which is of 120 mm. Projecting it light. After projecting the length, Here the width is 60 mm, so I'll mark 60 over it. Then drawing the rectangle. So here we have a rectangle of length 120 and width 60 for the top view. So as an observer, when we are looking from top, this complete circle is visible, that is both the circles of the cylinder, outer circle and inner circle are visible. I'll draw them first. And for those cylinders, the center line we already have, and at the same time here I'll take half of 60, that is taking the midpoint here, and then I'll draw the center of this rectangle, that is drawing the center line through it. So drawing a light line through it which will indicate the center line. So here I'll draw the circle of the cylinder which is visible from the top. So projecting the center line. Now here we get the center of that circle which we are going to draw, and radius we already have. So keeping this as the center, and here is the radius. I'll draw a light circle. So this is the outer circle of the cylinder which is visible. At the same time we have inner circle which will be visible from the top. So for that also the center is same. Radius I'll project it downwards. So projecting it light. Measuring the distance from the center up to the radius. Drawing a light circle. So these two circles are visible from the top view, and then when we are looking from top, this semicircular portion is also visible. Both the semicircles, inner and outer, are visible. Outer semicircle is having radius 15, inner semicircle is having diameter 20, so radius is 10, and the center is here. So I'll be drawing that semicircular part. Center is already here. For the outer semicircle, here I am projecting the radius. So drawing a light semicircle from here. Then the inner semicircle is also visible and its radius will be projected down. So drawing another semicircle light, which is the inner semicircle. Then after completing this, when we are looking from top, this rib which is inclined will also be visible. So by looking from the top, the rib which is inclined will look like a straight rib, straight rectangle. So when we are looking from top, this rib is also visible and it will be appearing as a rectangle. Instead of it being inclined, it will appear as a straight rectangle of width 10 mm, connecting the cylinder with the semicircular part. So I'll draw this rib here, having 10 mm width. So measuring 5 mm on both the sides from the center line. Drawing light horizontal line. So in this way the rib will be visible from the top. Then after this, here we see that this block is inclined and it is connecting the cylinder with the semicircle. So I'll draw a line joining the cylinder and semicircle, light line. So this is the top view of the given object. Once I have completed it light, now I'll make it dark. So here is the top view. For the semicircular part, only this part is connected. Here we are having a complete semicircular hole, so it won't be made dark. Next, after completing this, I'll draw the center line. Then, once we have drawn the front view and top view, now we need to draw the side view, and it is right hand side view drawn towards left hand side by first angle method of projection. When we are looking the object from right hand side, then the length will not be visible to us, but looking in this direction, the width and height will be visible. In short, whenever we are drawing the side view, width and height will be visible and not the length. So here if we see, height of the object we can get from the front view, and width we can get it from the top view. And for drawing the side view, here I'll take a point measuring an angle of 45 degree, drawing a light line through it. Then first I'll project the height from the front view. So height of the object we can get it from the front view, width we can get it from the top view, and for width I'll extend this line horizontally up to the 45 degree line and then projecting it upwards. Similarly from here I'll project this horizontal line up to this 45 degree line and then projecting it upwards. So this is the box inside which we are going to draw the side view. Here the height is 60 and even the width is 60. Height we have got from the front view, width from the top view. Next, here I'll even project the center line. So projecting the center line upwards. This is the center of the object. Now, when we are looking the object from the right hand side, that is, the direction will be from here. I can say that we are the observer. Now, as an observer, when we are looking from the right side, the first thing which is visible to us are these rectangles which will be seen. So at first I am going to draw these two rectangles. That rectangles, they have a height equal to the semicircular part. So projecting the height of those rectangles from the front view. Now width of the rectangles, we can get it from the top view. These are the two rectangles which appear as a line in the top view. So projecting them into the side view. Projecting it light, then I'll project this point. So here I am getting the first rectangle, then another rectangle is there. So these two rectangles will be visible. I'll make them dark. Now after drawing these two rectangles, Here we have an inside semicircle at the top and at the bottom. So when as an observer we are looking from the right hand side, there will be dark line representing these two semicircles. So in this way the semicircular plate will look like with the rectangles. Next, as an observer, when we are looking from the right hand side, the complete cylinder is visible as a rectangle of width 60 and the height is also 60 of the rectangle. So it means here we are having the height 60 and even the width is 60. It represents the complete cylinder. So that will be made dark. Next, after making this cylinder dark, there is a rib which is connecting the cylinder with the semicircular part. So the height of the rib we already have. Now width will be projected from the top view. So either we can project the rib from the top view, or since it is having a width 10, we can either measure 55 mm on both the sides. That will also be fine. So here, if I am taking from the center 55 mm on both sides, that will indicate the rib. Making the rib dark. Then, as an observer from the right hand side, after the rib, here these two blocks of 10 mm height, they are also connecting the semicircular part, so they will be visible. So that block of height 10 mm will be projected from the front view. And then this rib, I'll extend it up to the bottom. So the dark line up to the semicircle, it indicates that inclined block of 10 mm height. Then when we are going to extend it, that block will meet the rib, so this much part will be hidden. Next, here there is a hole inside the cylinder of diameter 40 that will be hidden in the side view. So I need to project this. diameter in the side view. So after drawing these lines light, I'll make them dark. That is, these are the hidden lines throughout. So here we complete even the right hand side view, and as mentioned in the question, we had to draw the front view from the x direction, top view and right hand side view. All the views have been completed. Now after completing this, we need to give the dimensions over it. So just I'll give the dimensions. Dimension lines should be medium dark, that is, it should be lighter than the outline. So for medium dark lines, I'm using this red color, and here the height of the block is 10 mm. Then the height of this semicircular portion is 25 mm. And then the total height was also given. This height is 10 mm. Then the semicircular block of 25 mm height. Total height 60 mm. Then the distance is given in the problem from one end to the center, that is from this side up to the center. That distance is 90 mm. So that I'll plot here. and dimensions should be exactly at the middle, and both the letters should be having the same height. So here, since it is 90, we can write it in this way. Then in the top view, starting with this part, this is the diameter of the semicircular part which is inside, that is 20 mm. And then the radius of this outer semicircle is given, it is 15 mm. Radius 15. Then for rib we can give the dimensions anywhere, like either in top view or in side view, because in both the cases the true shape of the rib is visible to us. So I can give the dimension for rib. Suppose I'm giving it in the side view. Rib is having 10 mm width. Then these two circles, inner circle is having a diameter of 40 mm as given, and the outer circle has a diameter of 60 mm. Diameter 60 mm. Then after giving the dimensions in the top view, I can give the dimensions in the side view in a similar manner. The total width and total height. Then after completing the dimensions as mentioned in the question, we have drawn the front view, top view and right hand side view of the object and already given the dimensions. So with this we complete the problem.